Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What? Nay.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
This is a sharp one.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrive by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes, that is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No.
The truth, sire.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Did she talk to you much during her last day?
No, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes...
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting it.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure.
I do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose, not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
you'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
This is a cool moment. It needs a cool thing to be said.
What? You're still not saying it right. It's too late now.
The old woman shakes her head, slowly.
Are you sure you'd rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heat?
The fell electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know about? Yes, let's have one.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's got.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else? No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular...
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before, when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building? Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died. Trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire, a prayer of sorts? To Revachol?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like... Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Good, good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there? Right. How do we get in, though? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotting boards. A building like this must have multiple doors, serving. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. An ordinary drainage pipe. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash, crumpled up newspapers, and nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the...
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement.
He means the pipe must be coming from somewhere in the building. The lieutenant's face lights up. He doesn't usually notice these little things.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
Hey man, it's good to see you.
You close your eyes and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder, where did that little fluttering light go?
Total darkness. You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep, vertebrate by vertebrate, through the unformed sky. Here it will begin. Who fucking cares? God? Where is your God? Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone. Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to rule the world. In the spinal cord!
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Foolhardy! Do you even know what's happening on the surface?
With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics, somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. As you open your eyes, you should scream, hyper, hyper. You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism, a flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called Eggheads, entirely, rigidly, imbecile, without pity or fear. Free from self-awareness, no deliberation, only, and I mean only, execution.
Oh my god! No way!
With his reel-to-reel mixer blasting the anthem of a future that will never come, the young man observes your moves for a second. He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm. The The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin.
Asil, are you going to dance?
No, recording.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to her own work. She's still at her mainframe, pressing buttons, reading printer. The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion. The authority of the law is clearly unquestionable.
What's going on here? Delinquents.
This is clearly a Code 31 emergency. The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose. The lights reflect off his glasses. He's obviously having trouble adjusting to this new reality.
A Code 31 emergency? Really?
The lieutenant crosses his arms with a bemused look.
What's happening? What?
Who's the one in charge? You are.
Are you kidding me? It's my what on?
Sheesh, okay.
Okay, you psychopath. I see what you're doing there. It's jacked up footwork, plus is that Ubi for dancing?
Nah, it's not Ruby folk. It's hardcore.
Yeah, whatever. Oh yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate. Now, check this shit out.
The lieutenant begins to heel kick the church floor with such intensity, it's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and the pillars to collapse, bringing the church roof down on all of you. It doesn't look like he'd give a shit either. The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You're going off the charts. You feel as if turning on the hyperdrive will be a point of no return. Feels almost melancholy. Are you sure you have the entire posse along for this?
Here we go again. Hardcore filthy air. The sound above my head.
What now? The sound above your what?
Above my hair, man.
Okay, this is too imbecile. Excuse me.
On the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten stave church, built 380 years ago by settlers from the Occident, most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center, an officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiotically rigid shapes as he invents the future of dance music.
I am La Revacholière. I am the city. I am a fragment of the world spirit, the genius Loki of Revachol. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100,000 luminous arms. Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on tree leaves. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you with her. And I've seen you without her. I've seen you on the crescent of the hill. The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me in your... I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. You are an officer of the citizens' militia, Jean Tinrebu. When you wear your coat, you wear my soul. You move through my streets freely, in motor carriages and on foot. You have I need you. You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you.
An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back.
Had a good rest there?
Fuck yeah! I bet you did. Those were some advanced moves, man.
That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for today.
You might be imagining it, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down. Such is his respect.
Man! Now, man! Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people. End of human development. Mission complete. All right.
You're absolutely beat. Muscles relaxed and feet like noodles underneath.
Goodbye, officer.
Hardcore.
Oh, the god of dance is back! I'm dancing with the god of dance! Goodbye. Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
The Swallow, you mean? What about it? Freight. Tank.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
The mother of humanisms.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some... It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago, where only animals are...
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remained. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than... Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into it. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary. It happened a while ago. It's an important to our business in Martin. Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. The hardened, vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should remember this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
That's a deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Psst.
That's a deal! Yeah!
Sidechain the beat. Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing. Either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Sidechaining it, you said?
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide. Wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down, with bliss, in total silence.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
I was born ready, Egg.
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together, it's unnatural.
Introducing the ultimate sound! This is wild. The signs are off the charts.
God damn it! This dance club idea might just work out.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
This is it. This is a new era. The fabric of the world has been irrevocably altered. Who will be the innocents of hardcore melodic dance music?
J'adore! God is close by, but maybe he doesn't have good enough ears. Let me turn it up so we can lure him here.
Yes, what is it?
Hardcore. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from here.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
What's on your mind? Rest of the... Much love to my hardcore antenna brothers!
Good luck, guys.
Try to squeeze in a...
Back across.
You can grab that amplifier, officer. And you start spooling up those cables. Maybe we can get it all in one go. Just plug that...
It's done. I believe we are ready.
Yeah, as ready as we're gonna be. Grab one of these can sets, both of ya. I've got it rigged so that we can all listen, but only your cop talk will... No idea what we're gonna hear when I turn this thing on. So, honestly, that might be for... Don't know how much juice we've got.
A soft rustling between your ears, a winterscape with fast, every light switch.
Hey! No, man! Well, what? That's up to you. I don't know your call sign.
You're all alone. The lieutenant looks up at you with a nervous glance. He is nervous for your sake, of course. Looking at him now, with both hands on his headphones, you see very briefly what the lieutenant must have been like when he first joined the RCM. Then he turns to you. He gives you...
Give it another go!
Perhaps you're simply imagining it.
Nein, Liebling.
Something about her son going to Vredefort on an aerostatic to see...
Liebling,
is that what you call those radio spook? Either way, you gotta keep it up till we... Again!
It's gone now.
A slight frisson at the point where your neck meets your spine. Something about the lieutenant's words directed at you, but not you.
I didn't say anything, Detective.
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
An uncomfortable silence for...
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
I promise you I didn't, even though it certainly sounds like me.
So your partner's haunting himself?
It's eerie for certain, but also harmless. I just wish I could remember what I was talking about.
Something here is eating at the lieutenant, as much as he would like to move past it.
Natürlich halten wir die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
You just have to embrace the spookiness.
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Dubois, please acknowledge. Where?
The signals are getting...
This isn't looking... Don't know. Says here, my guess...
This isn't it.
Someone has been maintaining it.
Something about this setup seems dimly familiar. But you'll be damned if you know what you're supposed to do about images of your body smashed against the pavement flood your mind. This is dangerous.
It's gotta be you. Maybe, but that's what the invalids...
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar. You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument. That performance was frankly an embarrassment.
You're doing all right, detective. Just keep your focus on
the connection, the whole...
Well, what's it look like? That's not good. Hang on, I'm looking at Ed's checklist. He says, if all fails, bend antenna. Narrow is the hardcore way. That make any sense to you? He says here,
the speed freak is right. You are not his imp. You can't have... Come on. Kings and sabers are so played out. Why not arm the good king's valiant steed instead? To your surprise, the saber...
There is no way that is going to make any difference.
This faithful... The sky through the scrim. A few... She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. You allow...
Good luck, guys.
Try to...
Back across.
You can grab that amplifier, officer. And you start spooling up those cables. Maybe we can get it all in one go. Just plug.
It's done.
Yeah, as ready as we're gonna be. Grab one of these cans. No idea what we're gonna hear when I turn this thing on. So be prepared for anything. Honestly, don't know how much juice we've got. So we better get good.
A soft rustling. Every
Hey, Lawman, that's up to you. I don't know.
You're all the lieutenant. He is looking at. Then he turns.
Give it another.
Perhaps. Something about her.
Keep trying. Again.
A slight frisson at the point.
I didn't.
An uncle.
It's been a long.
I promise.
So you're.
It's something.
Natürlichkeiten in die...
You just have to embrace.
But someone.
The signals.
This isn't. Don't know. Set my guess.
This is.
Someone has.
Something. Images of your body smashed against the pavement flood your mind. This is dangerous.
It's gotta be you. Maybe, but that's what the invalid...
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument. That performance.
You're doing all right, Detective.
The connection, the whole...
Well, what's it look like? That's not good. We should... Hang on. I'm looking at Ed's checklist. It says here... Since...
The speed freak is... You are not his imp... You can't... Come on. Why not arm the good... To your surprise...
There is no way that is going to make any difference. Ah!
This faithful... Through the scrim, she yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. Your grip is firm, yet controlled.
Looks like it's working.
The signal.
Try it now.
Lieutenant Dubois.
There it is. The Big Bear.
This is it. You're finally getting to... And by that, we mean the ones with the guns and the warships. There is so much.
Please be advised. that you are currently speaking with Coalition Worship Archer, flagship of Insurcom forces in Revachol. Of course, our name is...
There's something in the way she refers to herself, always with the first person. Not to mention the airborne artillery platform she...
Because it's, for instance...
Meaning, she's the voice of all those living souls.
No, of course, perhaps you could... It all depends on your perspective. The chief signaler. But now, we've wandered quite far. That's difficult to say. Perhaps... Oh. There are children. We cannot...
She needs to...
Martinez... Stand by... Yes. Interesting. The west of... Very well. Now we see...
A distended pause. A slight chill of embarrassment.
It is quite but what's most striking are the people. They just... We really could... And then, there's all the tear line about. Yes. Around... Yes, we see the monument. But... There seems to be a man on top of it. To be complete from here, in any...
Liebling, bitte.
Signal's weakening.
Come again? We're picking up more interference. A vast beyond that. Immeasurable. The role of the Moralist International is twofold. To buy humanity sufficient time to perfect itself, and to patiently guide it along the road while protecting it from ideological highwaymen and eschatologists. It was established by many of the same founding party members who elected Dolores. It's an elegant idea, one of the cornerstones of the modern era. Because no rational state is willing to... For the most part, it has. The world is certainly... There are many. The communists say they are the next dialectical step in an inexorable spiral of progress. They claim to have resolved the inherent contradictions of moralism, and believe they're just one revolution away from establishing a humanist paradise. The fascists, and then...
For some reason, it's the Social Democrats she sounds most exasperated with.
Yes. Atomic war.
If the opportunity presents it.
This is why it is critical for the international community. The RCM, at the same time, the RCM is not exactly off the coalition. It's our understanding that...
There is some truth to that.
But in a practical sense, it's the responsibility of the ethics divisions to ensure that both organizations are working towards the same ends. One now, committed to upholding moralist history, is a river coursing ever downward. Let us answer your question with a question. Have you ever seen evening fall over the old town of Vesperashit? If you had, then you would remember. The heart of the city, the old town, is at this, but as the sun sets, the shadows cast by those colors...
The name at Vesperashit means evening comes.
For you, for not only that, but you are also part of that centuries-long plan. When you cross... Yes, it is. We grew up there. We have seen the lattice with our own eyes. She was. There are even those who say that at Vesperashit summoned Dolores Day, or that it was built. That's why the old town is sometimes called... Of course, such a city does not spring from nowhere, nor does it endure without effort. About 3,000 years.
She really had that on the tip of her tongue. It's like she has the timeline laid out right in front of her.
That depends on how you look at it. Since the Pericarnassian is viewed from that perspective, we are nearly 3/4 of the way there.
This is it. Final question.
Is everything all right? We can assure you, it is coming as soon as possible. Oh, most likely. You must understand. Of course. There is no... It's not really our area of expertise, but we can try to explain. Pick precisamente. We know only that it will run down, but not what course it will take. If we place a rock in the water's path, that is the essence of the idea. You might also imagine, not exactly. No one can know the future. But we...
Meaning, there are more.
But we shouldn't overstate their importance. Well, yes, just as some events are less probable than others. While we expect the vast... Who are we to... The key, we believe, is to be open to... That's
But didn't the wild pines represent it?
You must understand.
It makes your brain swell just to think about it.
It may be the case that, under certain scenarios, Revachol is vitally, perhaps...
All.
It's even for this reason, responsibility for developing contingency spread, even though...
She knows perfectly well where they are. They've got one for everybody. All coded and filed.
The modern intern is not so. There is no... Our concerns exist on the scale of decades, centuries, and millennia. It is a work...
It's been a long winter. Long and cold. Bad news, Lawman. Signals...
Lieutenant Dubois, are you there? Lieutenant Dubois, please repeat.
Ich kann doch auch nächstes Jahr.
Nothing important, but...
And the lieutenant gives a look.
Yo, man. Question. Much love to my hardcore antenna brothers.
Good luck, guys.
Try to...
Back across.
You can grab that amplifier, officer. And you start spooling up those cables. Maybe we can get it all in one go. Just plug that in.
It's done. I believe we are ready.
Yeah, as ready as we're gonna be. Grab one of these cans. No idea what we're gonna hear when I turn this thing on. So be prepared. Honestly, don't know how much juice good.
A soft rustling. Every
Hey, no, that's up to you. I don't...
You're all the lieutenant. He is looking at him now. With both then.
Give it a...
Perhaps. Something about her son.
Is that what... Either way... Again.
A slight frisson at the...
I didn't...
An uncle.
It's been a long winter.
I can assure you it's not my twin brother. Though it's certainly...
So you're...
It's...
Something...
Natürlichkeiten in die...
You just have...
But someone...
The signals...
This isn't looking good. The radio spookers are winning. Don't know. My guess...
This...
Someone has been...
Come on, son. Images of your body smashed against the pavement flood your mind. This is danger.
It's gotta be you. Maybe... But that's what the invalid...
Your gloves give you a solid... Keep it together, champ. You've got this. And before you know it, you're safely perched atop the monument.
Yes, you're a natural gymnast, detective. Now, would you like to do what you...
The connection, the whole...
Well, what's it look like? That's not good. Hang on. I'm looking at Ed. He says here... Since...
The speed freak. You are his... You can't help... Come on. Why not arm the good king's valiant steed instead? There seems to be just enough room between its teeth. To your surprise, the saber slides snugly.
There is no way.
This faithful... through the scrim, she yells a single word he can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. Your grip.
Looks like...
The signal.
Try it now.
Lieutenant Dubois.
There it...
This is and by there is...
Please be advised that you are currently speaking with Coalition Worship Archer, flagship of Insurgent forces in Revash. Our name is not important.
You really... There's something. Not to mention the airborne artillery platform.
It's a great honor and responsibility. In addition to monitoring public frequencies... Oh, it's fine.
Hold on. You can tell she has more to say.
Of course, serving on a coalition warship does require some personal sacrifices. But we have to be nothing remarkable. Really, we have been very fortunate. But now, we have gotten quite... that's difficult to say. Perhaps... there are children building snowmen, but we cannot...
She needs...
Martinez... Stand by... Yes, interesting. The West... Very well. Now we... oh, well...
The old...
There are also a number of seabirds. We really could... And then, there's old... Yes. Around... Yeah, to pick up from here, in any...
Leapling.
Signals.
Come again? We're picking up more interference. Of that, beyond that, immeasurable. The role of the Moralist International... It's an because no rational state is willing to accept. A state is like... It was established by many of... There are many. The fascists say they're both the ancestors, and then...
For some reason, it's the Social Democrats she sounds most exasperated with.
Yes. This is why it is at the same time, the RCM is not it's our
There is some...
But in a practical sense, one now, history is a river. Let us answer your question with if you have the heart of the sea, what has the sun...
The name at
For you, not only that. Yes, she was. That's what... Of course, such a city about...
She really...
That view... Is everything alright? Acknowledge. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing. We believe the next...
This isn't about you. Not really. It may have been at a certain point. But now, take a deep breath.
What? How do you know this? Lieutenant Dubois.
There's papers rustling in the background. She's clearing her there. You've wedged your foot in the... You have the facts. Just lay them out beneath the cold light.
Please continue. We're listening. We have it. Is there anything else the committee should know?
Detective, before you answer that, I urge you to weigh your words extremely carefully.
You're not only speaking for yourself. The lieutenant is afraid you're going to say something too outre.
We're afraid we must ask you to repeat that, Lieutenant Dubois.
Afraid? Her tone has shifted. She's no longer herself.
Acknowledge. Listen very carefully, Lieutenant. We're going to ask you a series of questions. It is imperative that you answer as directly and truthfully as you can. Do you understand? Good. First question. Are you currently in the vicinity of Suragli, the North Arcade Islands, or near Pale Offshore Platform in Sul Indico? Please answer the question. Very good. Next question. Would you describe the phenomenon as internal to the Isola or external to the Isola?
What she means is, actually, you have no idea what those words could mean in this context.
Next question. At the time, did you experience sense objects? Yes. Examples may include sound, memory, light. Let's go on. Final question. Were you alone?
Yes. Unquestionably. Irrevocably. Alone. How could you be alone? You're a star, man. You've got an entourage. You are part of a large family. There's no need to overthink this.
We repeat. Were you alone?
You hear the sound of a page ripping.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Please stand by while we transmit our summary.
A long winter.
Signals are starting to misalign. Not sure how much longer I can hold them together.
Lieutenant Dubois, this is Collision Warship Archer. Please acknowledge. Thank you for standing by. We are authorized to report the Committee of Responsibility for Revachol has acknowledged and accepted your request. They would like you to address your matter to the committee directly, as their earliest convenience. Local matters can wait. Collision Shuttle Laurel is setting a course for your position. They will arrive momentarily. Stand by.
Snow again. It collects between the bronze horse's ears, along the bridge.
No way! Big Ben's coming here!
The lieutenant adjusts his microphone and slowly looks up toward you.
Well, what now? You've accomplished your side task. You've contacted Coalition Warship Archer. Is whether we are about to lose you to the moral intern.
Beneath that surface query, a touch of self-doubt. The lieutenant isn't sure he can solve the murder without you.
Afraid of what, detective?
A little rhyme jingling in your mind's attic. Of the future, of the past, of all that is not made to last. The lieutenant takes a moment to compose his thoughts.
I don't know where this case will lead us, detective. But in a sense, that doesn't matter, because that's what it means to be an officer of the RCM.
The lieutenant's final words are nearly swallowed by the roar of the...
Lieutenant Dubois, this is Collision Warship Archer. We have been instructed to inform you that the Laurel arrived at your position. Please acknowledge.
No shit. How are they supposed to hear your acknowledgement over the thundering?
Thank you. The Committee of Responsibility for Revachol has authorized us to offer you an immediate extraction. Do you accept? We are far past that point, Lieutenant. There is only one question now.
The roundabout. Martinez North. Daytime. The speed freak eyes you. He's torn. There's nothing more soft-core that the lieutenant looks up toward you. He's spoken his piece. There is something, a whisper, circulating among the city's footnoted alleyways and along its electrical wires. But what it's saying, you can't tell. It seems to be a message meant for someone else.
Acknowledged. Laura...
Marianne hat mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit er auf einem Lufttyp
Weeks later, no answers about extracted cop. The condition and whereabouts of an RCM officer extracted by a coalition aerostatic 2 weeks ago remain unknown. The dramatic maneuver witnessed by dozens.
Much love to my hardcore antenna brothers!
Good luck, guys.
Try to squeeze
Back across.
You can grab that amplifier, officer, and you start spooling up those cables. Maybe we can get it all in one go. Just plug that in there, would ya?
It's done.
Yeah, as ready as we're gonna be. Grab one of these can sets, both of ya. I've got it rigged so we no idea what we're gonna hear when I turn this thing on. So be prepared. Honestly, don't know how much juice good.
A soft rustling between your ears, a winterscape with fast, every light.
Hey, no man, that's up to you.
You're all of the lieutenant. He is looking. Then,
Give it another go.
perhaps, something about her son.
Is that what? Either way, again.
A slight frisson at the.
I didn't.
An uncle.
I can.
So you're.
Something.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für voll...
You just have...
With someone.
The signals.
This isn't... Don't know. It's my guess.
This.
Someone had.
Come images of your body.
It's gotta be you. Maybe, but that's what the invid...
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar. Keep it together, champ. You've got this. before you know.
Yes, you're...
The connection, the whole...
Well, what's it? That's not... Hang on. I'm looking at X. It says here... Since...
The speed you are his in... You can't... Come on. Why not arm the good king's valiant steed instead? To your surprise...
There is...
every...
This faithful... The sky... Through the scrim... A few... She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. Your grip.
Looks like...
The signal.
Try it now.
Lieutenant,
There it is.
This is end by... There is some...
please be advised that you are speaking on a... You are currently speaking with Coalition Worship Archer, flagship of Insur. Our name...
You there's something. Not to mention the airborne artillery platforms.
It's a great honor and responsibility. In addition to... Yes, of course. There is no higher calling than serving humanity. That's it. Perhaps... Oh. There are children. We cannot...
She needs...
Martinez... Stem... Yes. Interesting. Very well. Now we see... oh, well.
The old...
There are also a number of seabirds. We really could... And then there's all the tail line. Yes. Around... Yeah, that's you. We have to say, that's extremely irregular, Lieutenant. What are you doing on top of the public monument? How interesting. In Messina, in any event...
Liebling, bitte.
Signals.
Come again? You're picking up more interference. A very beyond that. It may be said immeasurable. The role of the Moralist International, it's an because no rational state is willing to accept it. For the most part, it has. It was established by many of the fascists, and then...
For some reason, it's the social democrat.
Yes. This is why it's at the same time, the RCM is not exact. We are not that familiar with RCM.
There is some truth to that.
But in a practical sense, history is a river. Let us answer your question with a question. If you have the heart of this, what has the
name at Vespera?
By thousands of people over... Not only that. Yes, she was. That's what... Of course, such a city about...
She really had that on the...
It does, doesn't it? And yet...
This is it.
Is everything alright? Acknowledge. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing.
This isn't now.
What? Lieutenant
There's paper there. You have the facts. Just lay them out beneath the code.
Please continue. We're listening. We have it.
You're not. The lieutenant is afraid you're going.
We're afraid.
Her tone has shifted.
Acknowledge. Good. First question. Are you currently in the... Please answer. Very good.
What she means is... Actually...
Next question. At the time, yes. Examples may include sound... Final question.
Yes. How could you... You are... There's no...
We repeat.
You hear...
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Signals.
Lieutenant Dubois. This is... Thank you for... They would like you to address your matter to the committee directly, as their earliest convenience. Local matter...
Fact.
No.
The lieutenant...
What now? You've accomplished whether...
Beneath that surface query, a touch of self-doubt. A little rhyme. The lieutenant...
I don't know where it is, because that...
The lieutenant's final words are nearly swallowed by the raw...
Lieutenant...
No shit.
Thank you. We are far past that point, Lieutenant.
The roundup, the speed... He's torn. The lieutenant... He's spoken his... There is something. A whisper. Circulating among the city's footnoted alleyways and along its electrical wires. But... What?
Repeat that, Lieutenant. What do you mean, you can't? Are you being impeded in some way? We have to say, this is extremely disappointing to hear, Lieutenant. What the consequences will be for your refusal to accept responsibility, we cannot say. For your sake, we pray they are not more than we all can bear. And now we are updating our frequencies. We will not speak again. This connection will be cleared in 4, 3, 2, 1. Après le monde, le gris.
And the line goes quiet. The lieutenant gives a long sigh as he removes his headphones. There's relief on his face.
I think it's best for you to climb off the statue now, Detective. Your real work is done here.
There's a damp cold running up the insides of your thighs. You look around. The strikebreakers are still shouting their slogans and waving their hand-painted sign. You could stay a while longer if you wanted. Out on the bay, the lights on the buoys trace little oblong circuits. Beyond those, there must be something more. But...
Everything all right, Detective? Listen, I understand that you're disappointed that things did not turn out how you might have hoped. But you made the right decision. The more difficult decision, in my mind at least. Yes, I know. In my experience, when you make the wrong decision, you can tell right away. It's the right decisions that won't leave you alone.
Perhaps someday, the lieutenant will tell you about...
Now come on, it's getting late.
About time. You grab that amp, forget the cables. Need to leave some evidence of our antenna to inspire future generations.
What's one more trip across the waterlock?
Well, cop man, we've repaid the favor. Guess this cements the cop-hardcore alliance.
Yeah! We are cops now!
Easy, eh? We're still hardcore music venue organisers, first and foremost, but maybe the stars make us pillars of it. Sure, you have to say that now. That's alright. I'll put this tech away later. Think there's an extra can set, in case you want to grab a souvenir.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old.
What's on your...
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet Graffiso action pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. Fuck no, art shit. It's not art, it's fucking brutal.
Even the pigs think it's garbage.
Look, bitches, Kuno's gonna wrap it up for you. Talk business, or fuck off. Enough about this art shit. The fuck about it. You're
Get lost.
Yeah? Yeah, whatever. Kuno, the fuck do you want? Good call, pig, my Kuno.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
All right, I will need a little...
Yes? What is it?
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? I really don't know, sir. I certainly don't feel like I've won. I feel like shit, sir. All the time.
She smiles. A bitter little smile. She means it.
Clearly, I haven't. We're having this conversation, aren't we? How well could it have gone?
The rain falls on her shoulders, tinting her blonde hair light brown.
I'm stuck in Martinez just like all of us. I've been up here for... I don't know how long now. I like to call this my rooftop containment facility. The what? Oh, those ones. I don't know, sir. I mean, there's no reason for me to think they're somehow connected to her. Did I? Why do I still feel suspicion hanging over me, then? For my sins, of course. The long-standing sins of a bad, frivolous person. For destroying my first love. For working for bad people. The list goes on and on. I don't know what to say. None of this is fortuitous for me.
She nods, slowly, carefully even. There is suddenly a strange glint in her eyes. Not malicious, but dangerous.
Sure. Do whatever you need to do. Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer.
The date of your re-entry into the fossil record.
Wow. That's some creation myth stuff right there. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Then, doesn't life get hard because we go on?
It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, a slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it. Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. That it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a... Yes, it was very cool.
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic.
Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like a window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. No problem, sir. I was just thinking, what a nice evening it... I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is.
A warm column of air rises around you, encircling the building you stand on. You feel its twisting shape, bits of paper and birds on the... Because it's warm, from the gathering spring, from the oceanic current flowing in, from the vapor, a great cumulus is formed, a cloud castle 1,000 meters high. A flock of seagulls scream. For her, the guest, waiting, as safe as you keep her. For Gloria, soon these clouds will all fall down as rain. Spring will come.
You mean here, in Martinez? I'm waiting for the miracle to happen. It'll take one to get me out of the mess I'm in. The return, of course. Now, I know I'm not from around here. I would only be hitchhiking. The return is a big hit in the industrial espionage circles. A lot of desperate, seedy types there. Oh, don't you know, sir? I thought you were from around here. You look like Mr. Revachol. The return, well, it's part urban myth, part political science. It's a fool's hope, sir, and it's also all I've got. They say there will be in Revachol West. They say it will happen soon, and that it will change everything. As I said, there's talk. In the competitive intelligence crowd, a lot of people, like me, We need, no. I came all this way on a false passport and some money. To hide, mostly. Where the walls are still porous and you can slip through. This is just...
Still, the story influenced their choice of where to run. It must have some hidden layers.
Soon. But it's been soon for almost half a century now, so don't hold your breath. Of the king, of the nation, of communism, return on investment. I don't know exactly. It's meant to be vague. But at the same time, I mean, things can't go on like this forever. So
it's an empty vessel, an amphora waiting to be filled. Something always returns from the past. It's how the future.
Yeah, I guess it is.
So she thinks, at least partly, that this return will feature a self-governing Revachol.
I do. Something is happening in this city.
Her thought trails off. The wind picks up again. Above her, a great cumulus cloud rises, ready to fall down as precipitation. The window stands.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want? Yeah? What?
door is closed. You hear some... The door, you... Six somewhere.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies.
Indeed. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
The maps look old and... Shelves full of biographies of...
A true cultural...
Shelves filled to the brim.
Of course.
The display... This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books.
It is a bestseller. Oh yes, certainly.
Everything still... Me?
This man probably comes from Seaguy.
Very...
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol.
Very cool! I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism. That's so cool of...
The gnarled horse.
The sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to appear any day.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Oh, Jetty, oh, Jetty. It's good to see you here, Detective. I only just arrived myself. Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Corda Lacey red. Like
what is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse?
It's just as well. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below, the smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor...
All right. Politics time. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds. Twisting, their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, it's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, they're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to the children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isola. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place... Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location? I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez. at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit. Either he's gonna calm down soon.
Our tenant, the policeman.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks us.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
What bad people? No, we're not really supposed to talk to strangers.
Uncle.
There's no waking him.
Tequila sun. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
The legend! He's back!
Mister? Luby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes. Bye!
Medicinal purposes of flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pill. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia it's all quackery. Finally, something to calm the. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pill, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become first, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The ginger and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for the treatment of arthritis. Be that as it may, it might have been useful to have such a thing for the trials you'll soon be facing. Would you like to try again? You close. Very well. Very well. Would you like to try again? You close the book. Medicinal purpose. Flipping through the book, you come across it's all final. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise. There's nothing in here that speaks. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? You've created a julep of mint. It won't help your hangover. The cool damp of the city has penetrated. If only you could find one of these right now and drink. Would you like to try again? You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover once more. The greatest innocence. Browsing through the various... You can do it. It'll be worth it. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. That's the... Oh yeah. This is what a pop quiz. Thanks, Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism. Internationalism. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust... Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of... Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed. Question 2. Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. An innocence is the highest category of historical personage. I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence... Great, Dolores. Incorrect again. While she... Even though the words most... Please, relax. Incorrect. Vespa Messina is not a person, but a... Correct. Named the innocence of militarism. He codified hereditary rule. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy. Question 3. Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party. There seems to be a mix. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. Incorrect. Stepan. Correct. There have been a number of counter. The most famous and important of these was Erenau. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. I've got it. Honest. Of course, this is my thing. Zero doubts. While it was actually her. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. A D. Not particularly remarkable. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit. You are shouting at an inanimate...
Man, something's weird about this book. You should do something fun instead. Rock out. Forget about it.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shape. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease. You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying...
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect...
You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Hug the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
What?
In this moment of hesitation, she almost doesn't seem disturbed, but like someone suddenly wakened from a deep sleep. With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams.
Officer compromise! Unlawful impersonation!
Okay, she's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised. Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed.
But back up? I thought Mr. Moran...
Aggravated assault, man!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now.
Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer.
Does she not believe you're actually a police officer?
License and registration! License and registration! Come in!
It's not a code. She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood. Alright, here's how we do it. As soon as that gun isn't pointed at you again, you dash right. Then immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel. Right one breaks the wrist. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
What? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the... Okay, you need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. The catatonic woman, especially now that she's unarmed, doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone but herself. The catatonic woman doesn't understand, probably even hear your kind words. It's a shame. Recognition from an actual police officer would probably mean a lot to her. Too bad she'll never know.
Mr. Moran? Gareth? Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Moran? Mr. Gareth Moran? The former cop turned Channel 8. That was the most honorable thing anyone has ever done. You are virtue embodied.
You weirdo! Get out of here before anyone sees you!
The woman stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? She stands motionless. The woman's stand is one of those things that there were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. Do. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of... She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. The old woman doesn't react to your touch. Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm. The polished wooden handle almost... It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect. Hoping this gun, Sunrise Parabellum, will be the only thing standing between you and the all-consuming nothingness that threatens to eat the... In your hand, the cover features a pastiche of different The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence. Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective to investigate. The story opens with a knock at the... Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesp. An extremely unprofessional and hurt, but also extremely accurate in your case. Give it time. You'll fall off the wagon sooner or later. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by desperate to clear his name. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious, and not just any dame. She's truly one in a million, a knockout whose mind is as dangerous as she's any man's kind of woman. Are you sure about that? Something about her gives you a bad... You couldn't handle a woman like that. Look at yourself. You couldn't even handle your... Stop. Don't say it. Nothing. Forget it. Go back to your story. Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover, and that he was mixed up with a local... Not only is the local police captain in, outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but a typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build. Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. That said, Torvald, one evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a... Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warm... Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, I love you. The name of the troop, whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes, fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence. Even Dick Mullen won't be sent to the clink for the sake of some... The heat is on. If Dick, can you solve the case before the cops close in? What is it, detective? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to... What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night? You are the murderer after all. There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor. You won't find the answers you're looking for here. In other words, is it really so evil, detective? Like what? Do you even have those? Yes. They're out there waiting for you. Just over them. Did you lose them? Or did they leave you? Do you even know the difference? But then, what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of pulp. So, who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve? What? That doesn't even make sense. There's no... Now go on. Find out who really did it. You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these, you try to grab the pages as they come. Dozens of pages scatter across the ground. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long. Yes, blame a dead horse for your fat, clumsy fingers. Don't forget, it could have been the delirium tremens. In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. The edges of the page, the jacket copy, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken. You open his arms, it calls out to you. This is the spirit of Revachol. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eye. Man from Heimdall rides on a guilt. The steel muscles of man from Heimdall. A passage reads, "The man from Heimdall looks up. His thine spell. I have grand plans for you, man from Heimdall. This is beyond primitive." In the final pages, man from Heimdall, to find out what happened. The cover of this tattered paperback, behind him, these images speak to something burbling deep within you. The back blurb reads, "His below, in smaller font, a brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together their main concern is." The story opens. By nightfall, only the man from 9 Tiribald. The man, it is physically impossible for a human being to effectively, and with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer. A few chapters later, this book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting. The Northmen find that the man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. What do you mean? Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. What do you mean is that he is the man from Heimdall. He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Hey, nothing wrong. The point is, why should you care about this character? He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough. What are you? A book critic? Enough. You're ruining the... What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an in the center of the Great Hall. As the vile ceremony. This is what you came for, isn't it? Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe the glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Heimdall. In an instant, the Nat Header. Oh, for fuck's sake. When the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tiribald remains. He probably is, but you can't be sure, because this one ends in a cliffhanger. Considering the sheer amount of different the man from Heimdall. The door is... You hear... It's getting cold. An old mirror. The bed is comforting. The place feels almost like home now. Quiet and dignified around you. A new...
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow.
This respite. You've earned it, brother. Bask in the darkness. No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you if you don't mind.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You're welcome, Harry boy. You earned it.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You...
Go.
Yes?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 56. Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Cortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S-K-O. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 7. Then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had. The only...
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their...
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
The name. This is very good. Ellis Cortenaer.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like naming a case. Sometimes police work is about human...
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
No response. He's having trouble A moment passes.
Yes? What is it?
Again? I can't believe this.
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want?
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians shoot...
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some...
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something...
Yeah. I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig.
Whatever you do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do.
No? Well, whatever then, copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to me.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, she... shit.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? You are already signed up, Cerdo.
Nah, don't worry about it, Al. The cops want to dress up and play poli. Dunno. She lives by the water.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we...
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb, futilely.
No problemo, cop man.
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on the street.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Yes, miss. I hope you don't mind.
Good for you. Sounds oddly feminine.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she put... The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. Right, 2, 1. The file cabinet stands the drawer. The door seems...
Mr. Dubois, the word in Martinez is a certain police officer is once again happily reunited with his service I prefer my police officers old-fashioned like that, with a gun. You can do so many things with a gun that you can't do without one. My. She's quite the looker, Harry. Tell me, was it difficult to convince the pigs to give it up? I knew you could handle it. I know my special policeman. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right.
The old king, a silver, not a good, as you look up, someone shot him and the monument stands. The woman looks.
Huh? What?
Hello, hello.
The trap is poor things. A rusty ladder.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. you'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem... In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180? Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded.
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
That's not how physics work, Detective. And even if it were, wouldn't you? Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fading out of existence.
Okay, well, that's impressive, but...
BAM! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the system...
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of...
I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes, time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Not running is a great way to do that. mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, "Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago, half a century. This was probably part of the network of defense posts the community. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, you mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
This hat is so soft, so warm. Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Glory to the... There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange thing.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines...
You will upset the balance of power in Martinaise. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information.
He just can't be sure. Maybe it would...
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict.
Let's try not to. If you can't predict it.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we...
I wouldn't be so sure.
Or maybe not.